All right, welcome YouTube peeps. We're on Q38. We're going to be looking at this area problem with Tatiana. How are the two shapes similar? Equivalent fractions, and looking at what is a larger fraction. Okay. All right, here we go. We have an area of 25. What are the lengths and the widths? The widths. You could have a 5 by 5, but you could also, so that's one answer. Here's another answer though. If the area is 25, you could have a 25 by 1. I don't know who would have a garden that's a 25. Well, yeah, it would just be a long strip. So you have two answers there. You have a 5 by 5 or a 25 by 1. Basically, it's just length times width equals the area. That's called a formula. How are the two shapes similar? Gosh, they're both quads. They're both polygons. A polygon is a closed shape with no curved lines. You have opposite sides parallel. Opposite sides pair. Are they both? Oh, they look like they're both parallelograms. I did not spell that correctly at all, but oh well. Okay. Match the pairs of equivalent fractions. All right. When we're talking about equivalent fractions, the only thing we're doing is adding cuts or taking away cuts. For example, take a look at this rectangular pizza. How much pizza do I have here? I have half, right? 1 out of 2. How would I make an equivalent fraction here? Add a cut. Now, the only thing that I want to say is you have to have all the pieces have to be equal for it to be a fraction. Is this equal? No, these are baby slices. That's a big one. So when you add cuts, they all have to be equal. All right, now, have I added any pizza? No. Have I thrown in any more ingredients? No. Have I done any more shading? No. All I've done is add cuts. What do we have now? We have 2/4. What if I add another cut here? Can I do just one cut? No, because once again, they all have to be equal. So I'm cutting all of them again into smaller. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 eighths. Those are all equivalent, right? The opposite end would be, let's say I start off with 4/8. Cut in half, cut those in half, and then I cut those in half. Ooh, I don't know how, that's going to be kind of hard to erase. Oh well. Let's say I start off with 4/8. How would I make an equivalent fraction here? By removing cuts, subtracting cuts. I kind of like removing, actually, is probably a better way to put it. All right, so let's say I remove this cut here. Can I just remove one cut? No, because then they're not equal again. They have to be equal. So if you're going to remove that cut, you have to make sure that you remove all the other cuts that make it equal. Kind of harder to remove cuts here. All right, now what do I have now? Now I have 2/4. Do you see how making equivalent fractions is just adding and removing cuts? Okay. Come back over here. Is there any that looks like it's the same amount of pizza, regardless of the cuts? This one and this one looks like the same amount of pizza. It's just these pieces are smaller. Why are they smaller? Look at. All they did was add cuts. Okay, so 1/4, is that 1/4? Yeah, 1/4 is the same as 2/8. This one doesn't even look like it's cut correctly, but take a look at this one and this one now. Are those the same? Yes, the only difference is, oh, it looks like they cut it. Ooh, and they cut it that way. Oh, wow, they added a lot of cuts. But are the pizzas still all equal in size, the slices? Yes. So we went from, I think that was half originally, to now 4/8. Ask yourself, is 1 out of 2 the same as 4 out of 8? Yes, it's still half the pizza. Half. All right. Circle the larger fraction. It's really easy to compare fractions when the bottom number is the same. Because now, if the bottom number is the same, all you have to do is look at the top number to compare. Obviously, 2 out of 6 is more than 1 out of 6. Eventually, like this one, we're going to get into it where the bottom numbers are different. Those are a little bit harder. That's called unlike denominators. All right, hopefully that helps you with Q38 homework.